This story out of Forbes: Disney expected to announce new theme park. Yes, it's true. Is it a fifth gate? No, not so much. This one out of Caroline Reed at Forbes. We always love hearing out of Caroline Reed and her writing partner, Kristen Silt. Disney is tipped to imminently announce that it is developing a new theme park as part of a $60 billion investment in its experiences division, which generates the majority of its operating income. It's widely expected that the park will be built in Shanghai alongside its existing fairy tale themed outpost there, and the announcement could come as early as next week. Tomorrow, the resort will begin 2 days of celebrations to mark its 10th anniversary, with Disney's chief executive officer, Josh D'Amaro, flying in for the festivities. The invitation received by this author doesn't refer to an announcement and simply invites media to join us to celebrate 10 years of making magic together. However, there will be plenty of opportunity for an announcement to be made. You know, Disney's in an interesting spot right here. It has been 10 years since Disney Shanghai opened up. And that is a resort that it's impressive in some ways. And in another way, I wonder if it lives up to what maybe Bob Iger's expectations of what a Disney Shanghai park should have meant to the bottom line of the Disney company. Ron, you're chuckling. What are your thoughts on that?
I'm just thinking everybody here with Walt Disney World is like, oh, maybe we'll get a fifth park, and then, oh no, we got Shanghai.
Actually, really funny.
I was,
I'll come back.
I've seen talk about this. I've seen the rumors that are flying around about this second Shanghai park, and it makes sense. I mean, Shanghai's a big location. Chinese people like it. Iger was apparently pretty good with the government there.
Yeah. It takes a lot of economic activity and relational activity to make sure that China loves you enough to allow you to build something as large as a Disney park on that scale. And I'll say they have forced perspective in every single castle park in the United States, Paris and Hong Kong, Tokyo Disneyland, all of that. The Storybook Castle at Shanghai, I'm not sure that they had to use forced perspective on that castle because it is just that large. This is, if we go by size alone, it's an amazing park. I've watched the walkthroughs of that park over and over and over again. And then when they did an overlay of the park map so you could see where you are relative to everything else, I watched it again. It's a fascinating park physically, but it's also in a place that I'm not sure that Walt would be crazy about there being a Walt Disney park. Erika, we're 10 years in on Shanghai Disney. What do you think if Walt Disney were alive today, he would think of this company having a park there that is in a country similar to China?
I don't know. That's a hard one. That's a really tough one to answer. Speaking for a dead guy, either he would see the evolution of where we are today and be like, sure, why not? Or he'd be really against it. There really wouldn't be a middle. It would either be absolutely, let's go for it, or no, we're not doing this.
Yeah. Now, one of the things that happened when Bob Chapek was in charge of the Disney company, supposedly in charge of the Disney company, he had the chief executive office, even though Bob Iger was still technically his boss at the time. He tried to lessen the economic impact of the Shanghai park on the rest of the company. There was rumors going around that Bob Chapek was trying to figure out some kind of licensing deal, that if things went south in U.S. relations between them and China, that there would still be money coming back to the Disney company, even if, say, there was some kind of business split that said that U.S. companies couldn't own a park like that. For instance, the TikTok deal comes to mind, where TikTok couldn't operate in the United States while being owned by a Chinese parent company. So I think that internally it's still controversial. I know Bob Chapek has been since exited from the Disney company, but China and its ever-changing stance with the United States, I wonder if this is the kind of thing where Walt's universal image, the idea of the small world after all, where we're all this brotherhood of man, just one moon and one golden sun, all that idea from the Sherman brothers, if that would outweigh the idea that Walt Disney himself absolutely 100% despised deep down into his bones communism. Like he hated it more than I think most Americans hated communism.
I mean, wasn't he called? He was accused at one point in his career, and he had to fight that.
If he was accused of many things, but I don't think communism was when he was usually the one accusing other people of communism. So when people tried to unionize the animators at the Walt Disney Company, Walt Disney said they're a bunch of communists, which they all said, those animators said that's ridiculous, which I think it turned out being true, by the way.
I'm just trying to think about the parks in Asia in general. Like we have the one in Japan. That's a pretty decent size park, if you ask me.
Yep.
But
Disneyland
Shanghai
and
is
Disney Sea,
really right. But Shanghai probably needs this because it's really small.
Oh no, Shanghai is huge.
No, Hong Kong. Hong Kong is small.
Hong Kong is
okay. The Hong Kong one is small. Okay, I get confused. There's so many. I'm like, but yeah, I could see why they're doing that. I mean, now, do you guys think? I'm trying to picture the difference between the one in Hong Kong and the one in Shanghai. Yeah, are they like, how do you need to catch a flight, or is it just a drive away? Thinking if you're living in that continent.
Hong Kong to Shanghai is a pretty far away. Hong Kong, I believe, is an island, and it's in the southern part of China. Obviously, my Chinese geography is bad, so people can call me out in the comments if I'm wrong on this. This is fine.
Mine
Shanghai
is too.
Is more north and to the east, far to the east in China. So it's a different area of China, which is a pretty large country anyway. So I don't know the exact distance between the two, but they're far enough away that they're not taking each other's business. Other than
that's what I was wondering
Hong
about.
Kong
Okay,
it is a
Hong Kong
or
Tokyo 2.5.
In the first. Go ahead.
It is a 2.5 hour direct flight from Hong Kong to Shanghai, or 8 to 11 hours by high speed rail.
they have a railroad that goes there.
I looked it up on Disney's
public.
Well,
Disney AI gave you that information, Ron.
Now,
Google.
I will say this does remind me, and it's a different economic environment than it was, but Walt Disney Studios, which is now about to be renamed to Disney Adventure World out there at Disneyland Paris, Walt Disney Studios was built out of obligation because Disney would have lost the deal for that land had they not built Walt Disney Studios. And for the longest time, that was the worst Disney park. I think when you're dealing with someone like the Chinese government, which owns a large portion of Disney Shanghai, I wonder if this is something that they have to do, or if it's something that they're trying to do specifically to show the illusion of progress out there at Shanghai Disney. I don't know. Does anyone have any thoughts on that?
I think it's that, and Disney's just desperate for any kind of business. I don't think they care where it comes from. And if it gives them the green light to obfuscate how well they're doing or how not well they're doing, that's just where they are right now. Oh, look over here, we're doing so great over here.
And speaking of items that were Disney really wants people to look, do you know the last time that Disney got a huge bump in stock price was? Do you remember what the announcement was?
No.
It was
everything's convoluted now.
Disney World Abu Dhabi. And right now, the Walt Disney Company seems to have a magnet pulling it to $100 a share. Now, it does go below $100 a share, which we've watched many times on this channel. But currently, the Disney Company is sitting at 101.62 as of the recording of this segment here. I think that this may be the kind of thing where they want shareholders to believe that there's big movement happening at the company. So the announcement of another park, I don't think they can do that just yet in California. I don't think a fifth gate is a good idea when they've got Disney's Animal Kingdom suffering as a park the way that it's suffering right now. But they could do this out in Shanghai, where I think a lot of these American investors go, I don't know anything about that because I'm never going to it. So, this will probably move the stock price up, unless there's some expose out of China that says this is a horrible idea, which there won't be.
But if Shanghai is large enough already, why are they adding? I'm just curious, like I'm trying to process everything. Why are they going to make it expand it or add to it if it's already large?
I think I think it's kind of like when Congress passes laws, even though they don't need to pass laws. I think they like the illusion of movement more than they need to see. It's a perpetual growth idea with Wall Street. They need to always look like they're expanding revenue. So we'll do a we'll do a fast pass system, or we'll do a multi-pass system, or we'll do a premium pass system. They'll announce a new thing or a reformatting of something that's broken into something that's broken in a different way. This is the kind of thing. I think the Walt Disney Company currently, its largest, most important audience is probably their shareholders as far as all this goes. And announcing another Shanghai park, that seems like just the kind of thing that would move that stock price up, in my opinion. Anybody have any thoughts before we hit the button?
It does look like when you look at the layout of Shanghai Disney, you look at the land that's available there. It looks like it might have been in the plans all along.
Oh, yes, of course.
Maybe to see the map.
So the real question is the timing of all of this, because so many people. Okay, like I look at what they're doing at what I guess is considered. I mean, Disneyland is Disneyland, right? California, but Walt Disney World is supposed to be the flagship destination for Disney. It's huge. It's freaking 40 square miles. It's the size of the city of San Francisco. There's plenty of space to do stuff, yet they keep destroying beloved attractions and just replacing that same footprint with something that people that don't like as much. And it's almost, it's hurtful, right? Like when you're a Disney fan and you see, oh, Disney Abu Dhabi, oh, another park in Shanghai, oh, like, you have plenty of space to do new things at Walt Disney World. Why? I don't know. It bothers me that
I hear you, Ron, because the overseas parks get everything really, like, I feel like they get better stuff than we have over here.
Yeah, I would agree. And I think it's because other corporations outside of the Walt Disney Company are paying the development costs. One thing I will point out, Hong Kong Disney was built on the idea that it would expand. In fact, the second site that was out there eventually was used, but it was used by the Chinese government to create a camp where you concentrate very hard for long periods of time. It was a medical facility where people stay whether they would like to or maybe not. So I'm going to say maybe this is a preemptive move by the Disney Company to make sure that they get their theme park instead of maybe having to give it up for something else. I'll just say more power to you, Josh Damar, if you can turn this company around, and you'll be doing something that will bring you dangerously close to Bob Iger coming back to the company if you actually start to move that stock price.
Thanks for watching That Park Plays News. For more information, consider checking out www.thatparkplace.com. And don't forget to subscribe, share, like, and send this out on your favorite social media accounts.